Hey, awesome ones. I know that most of you out there are natural nurturers and you really want to care for people during this very difficult time with the coronavirus. And what I was thinking was, instead of doing makeup and fashion, what I wanted to do is just kind of talk to you heart to heart, because this is a time, this is not going to be about how to wash your hands or, you know, what kind of things to buy, what perishables you should buy. This is just one woman talking to you heart to heart. I've got 5 ideas to help care for people, and it all starts in just a few seconds. So my number 1 suggestion is to look after yourself with a little self-care. What? I thought you were talking about caring for others. Well, I really truly believe that you really have to look after yourself. And I gave an example in a video not too long ago about how when you go on an airline, the flight attendants will teach you that if those airbags come down, you got to put your own on first, and then you have to help your kids. And I think the same sort of thing goes right now, that we have to look after ourselves, we have to eat right, we have to look after ourselves spiritually and physically and mentally, and then we can start attending others. So maybe you want to take a long bath, or maybe you're like me and you like to do a little bit of, well, I call it meditation in the morning, but basically I don't get out of bed until I've sort of planned the day and relaxed. And for me, I do some prayers and just sort of get myself revved up for whatever's going to happen. And I know we have to watch the news. I know we've got to know what's going on and talk to our loved ones about what's going on and maybe help them out a little bit. But gotta look after yourself and like get that immune system all boosted, and also remember to keep your faith and know that this too will pass. So number 2 is have knowledge. Now, knowledge is not watching TV 24/7. Like I did it myself. I was really glued to the TV and what's next and what's closing and what's this and what's that. And what I said to my husband Bill is, you know what? Let's limit ourselves to 20 minutes of watching TV in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, and 20 minutes not before we go to bed, but maybe 10 o'clock at night. We need the knowledge, but we don't need to be watching TV so we're so addicted to everything that's going on. And what ends up happening is you start to panic. I found this even happening to me, where I started to get fearful and I went, whoa, you know what? This is not going to work for me if I start panicking and I'm watching too much of this and it's becoming addicted. So, you know, just watch that, have the knowledge, you need it. There's monetary help out there right now. There's closures out there. There's all kinds of things happening. We got to know the basics, but we don't have to live in fear. Keep in touch with your loved ones by phone. Now I know my kids, they're adult kids, no, Mom, just text me. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to hear their voice, and you also kind of have to explain to them what you're going through as well. Like with my husband and I, we're doing a lot of social distancing right now. Bill's mom is 95 and she lives at home with his brother, and you know, we've got to see her, we've got to be around her, so we have to explain to the kids that we're doing some social distancing right now and why we're doing it. Now I know it's kind of like walking on eggshells with the kids, the adult kids especially these days, so you don't want to be calling them 2 or 3 times a day. They probably won't pick up, or if they do pick up, they'll say, Mom, stop calling me. At least that's what I get anyway. So I've had to be a little more creative and text them every once in a while to, you know, just make sure they're still okay. And I found, oh, they're not listening actually, but anyway, even if they are. So I'll text them and I'll say something like, hey, are you still going to work these days? You know, are you still called in, or are you working at home? And then they'll text me something back. And a lot of times we can have a nice little back and forth conversation that way. So if you're not proficient at texting, I think it's really a good idea that you do get on that bandwagon right now and, you know, keep in touch with them that way, because the last thing they want to know is the doom and gloom in your voice and the worrying about them and all that sort of thing. For the most part, a lot of them have things perfectly under control. To really try to work on easing the boredom of staying at home. Now, I know my husband and I mean, we're always out, we're always socializing and doing things, but this has been really a test. I mean, when I say a test, I mean a test of not sitting around watching TV and doing the same old over and over again, watching too much news. No, I had to get creative about a week ago, and I started writing down all kinds of different things that we could do, from cleaning the closets to, you know, cleaning up. It's spring cleaning time anyway, right? But also playing games of cribbage and all kinds of different things. So I got to tell you that I like the list so much that Bill and I, we did a video on it. It's over on our other channel, youtube.com/awesomeover50inspiration. But what I'm going to do is, on the end screen of this video, I'm going to put a link for you. So if you want to see it right after this, the 10 different things that you can do while you're staying at home and not get bored, I'll put that up there. And you know, you might even want to do that texting to the kids again, and maybe suggest things that they do in a kind of a subtle way. Like Bill's a Jedi crib master. He's really good at playing cribbage, and so you know, you might just text him like, oh my god, Bill just beat me 3 times in a row at cribbage or whatever, and just sort of hint to them, maybe get some of their games out, maybe get some of the cards out. So anyway, that's just a suggestion to help with the boredom. So number 3 is to tell your family about risk and reward, and kind of ask them before they do something to think about that, because they might say, oh my gosh, you know, I got to get together with my friends. We've just got to have a game night or something. Let's invite 20 of our friends over. But what is the risk? Now, in our particular case, if the kids come back here for any reason, we might contract the virus and we might give it to Bill's 95-year-old mother. But the other thing is, it's not just the elderly that are really getting sick and with this virus. If you have an immune system that's not 100%, people on chemotherapy, it's all different walks and ages of life. So what Bill and I do, and you know, we also say to the kids as well, is always ask yourself the risk and the reward of doing whatever you're setting out to do, especially if it does not involve social distancing. And talking about risk and reward, I know sometimes we've got to get to the grocery store. Please, we're all in this together. Please don't hoard food and buy off everything in the shelf. I mean, there's so many shelves that are empty. We just went yesterday, right, Bill? And so many shelves were empty. Just try to remember your fellow person out there. And you know, what I was doing was I was buying 2 of something, maybe 2 loaves of bread, and then I'm going to put some bread in the fridge so I don't have to go to the grocery store so often. But also, when you go to the grocery store, make sure that you're buying things to help you in your immune system. Make sure you're buying maybe frozen blueberries, frozen green beans, you know, the kind of things where you don't have to go to the grocery store so often, but you're still looking after yourself and you're looking after others, you know, that maybe, well, even suggesting to the kids to make sure they keep up on their greens and their blueberries in that fancy text kind of way. Don't worry, be happy. Oh yeah, right? As if you can do that right now. But what I mean with this message is, laughter truly is one of the best medicines. Like after you're doing some exercise and you're eating right, you still gotta laugh, you know. And what I stopped doing decades ago was I stopped watching the 11 o'clock news just before I went to bed. And certainly when you go through your emails, I mean, you close up your emails, there's always news there. There's always some kind of news in social media. But, you know, again, yep, you need the knowledge of the news, but I wouldn't be watching it just before bedtime. Now, I used to watch the late night talk shows, you know, the ones with the funny monologues, and I would always watch those just before bed, but now they're just reruns, and I've seen most of them. So what I'm doing is, I mean, we got about 500 channels on TV these days, and there's all kinds of streaming in that. So what I have found are some old 80s and 90s sitcoms, and Bill and I are watching them, and we're just belly laughing. I mean, they're so hilarious, and we're just sitting there laughing and laughing, and I think that's a way better thing to do before you go to sleep. And also remember during the day, you know, if you're not working from home, watch some of those, you know, we have all got those comedy DVDs still at home, and so maybe dig out some of the really funny ones and watch some of those, because, you know, it will help to keep worrying at bay, and those endorphins that you're getting from laughing, it's going to help you keep healthy too. So all of these ideas I'm slowly sharing with my kids, with my loved ones, and now I'm sharing them with you too. As I said, I'm a nurturer, and I really want to help everybody as much as I can right now. You know, if my kids had a disease, I would be there for them. And to me, this is a dis-ease of society, and we're all changing. We're all changing by the minute. So for all of you out there, I know you come from all over the world. Let us know in the comments, you know, where you're from and how you're doing. It's really important to us as nurturers to talk to each other and to stay strong. You are all awesome ones out there, and I want you to stay safe, stay healthy, and please relay this message to as many people as you possibly can. And that is, this too will pass.